It was a stormy night, rain lashing against the windows of St. Mark's Hospital with relentless fury. I, a night shift nurse, found myself alone in the eerie silence of the deserted corridors, my footsteps echoing softly against the linoleum floors. The clock above the nurses' station ticked inexorably towards 3 a.m., a time when the veil between the living and the dead is said to be thinnest. As I made my rounds, checking on patients in their dimly lit rooms, a sense of unease settled over me. The storm outside seemed to intensify with each passing moment, its howling wind and drumming rain adding to the palpable tension in the air. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that unseen eyes followed my every move. It was then that I heard it, a faint whisper, barely audible above the sound of the storm. I froze in place, straining to catch the words, but they eluded me like smoke in the wind. Heart pounding, I continued down the corridor, my nerves stretched taut with anticipation. As I reached the end of the hallway, a shadow moved across the wall, a shapeless form that seemed to shift and sway with unnatural grace. I blinked, certain it was a trick of the light or my overactive imagination. But as I watched, the shadow moved again, this time passing through the solid brick wall as if it were nothing more than mist. Fear gripped me in its icy claws as I followed the shadow's path, my footsteps silent as I approached the spot where it had disappeared. There, in the darkness beyond, I saw them. Countless shadows flitting through the walls and corridors of the empty hospital, their movements fluid and haunting. I stood rooted to the spot, unable to tear my eyes away from the spectral procession. Some shadows appeared human-like, while others twisted and contorted into shapes that defied comprehension. They moved with purpose, as if driven by some unseen force, their presence casting a chill over the once familiar surroundings. Suddenly, a cold gust of wind swept through the corridor, extinguishing the flickering lights above me. Darkness enveloped me like a shroud, broken only by the faint glow of emergency exit signs casting eerie shadows on the walls. Panic seized me as I fumbled for my flashlight, the beam cutting through the blackness like a lifeline. With trembling hands, I swept the light across the hallway, illuminating empty rooms and deserted hallways. But the shadows had vanished, leaving behind only an oppressive silence that hung heavy in the air. I hesitated, torn between the urge to flee and the need to uncover the truth behind what I had witnessed. Summoning my courage, I ventured further into the hospital's labyrinthine corridors, my flashlight guiding the way. Each step echoed loudly in the empty halls, the sound amplified by the absence of human presence. As I turned a corner, I stumbled upon an old service stairwell, a forgotten passage leading deeper into the hospital's bowels. Against my better judgment, I descended into the darkness below, my footsteps echoing off the cold, damp walls. The air grew colder with each step, a sharp contrast to the warmth of the upper floors. Strange symbols and graffiti adorned the walls, their meanings lost to time and neglect. At the bottom of the stairwell, I found myself in a vast, cavernous space, an abandoned wing of the hospital that had long been sealed off from the public eye. Dust and debris littered the floor, evidence of years of disuse and neglect. Yet, amid the decay, I sensed a palpable presence, a feeling of being watched by unseen eyes that followed my every move. I navigated the labyrinth of corridors and rooms, my senses heightened to the slightest sound or movement. Shadows danced on the walls, their forms shifting and changing with each flicker of my flashlight. I felt as though I had stumbled into a realm where reality and nightmare converged, a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred beyond recognition. As I explored deeper into the abandoned wing, I stumbled upon a room unlike any other, a makeshift shrine adorned with candles and offerings, their flames flickering in the still air. Strange symbols and sigils covered the walls, their meanings inscrutable and ancient. In the center of the room stood a mirror, its surface reflecting my own frightened expression back at me. I approached the mirror cautiously, my heart pounding in my chest, and peered into its depths. What I saw sent a chill down my spine, a reflection not of myself, but of the shadows that had haunted me throughout the night. They moved behind me, their forms twisting and contorting with malevolent intent. Before I could react, a gust of wind extinguished the candles, plunging the room into darkness. The mirror shattered with a deafening crack, shards of glass falling to the floor like rain. Panic seized me as I stumbled back, the shadows closing in around me, their whispers echoing in my ears. With a desperate cry, I fled from the room, scrambling up the stairs and back into the deserted corridors of the hospital. I ran as if pursued by demons, my breath coming in ragged gasps, until I burst through the hospital doors and into the stormy night. As I stood in the pouring rain, soaked to the bone and trembling with fear, I glanced back at St. Mark's Hospital. One last look at the place where reality had fractured and nightmares had come to life. The shadows lingered in the windows, their forms indistinct and fleeting, before melting away into the darkness. I never returned to St. Mark's Hospital after that night, haunted by the memories of what I had witnessed in its deserted halls. The shadows continue to haunt my dreams, their whispers a constant reminder of the thin veil that separates our world from the unknown. And so, the tale of the 3 a.m. shift gone wrong at St. Mark's Hospital remains a chilling reminder of the horrors that lurk in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered by those who dare to seek the truth.